Hi, my name is Nkoyo. Welcome to my final project presentation for Web 110 Internet Fundamentals. The topic of my presentation is HTML, the backbone of a web page. HTML simply stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and HTML is not a programming language, but it's a markup language for creating web pages, documents, and applications. HTML elements are made up of tags that are used to format a web page. The tags have an opening tag and a closed tag. This is a template of a HTML document that I created to help me for my final project presentation. So an opening tag just looks like this. This is a head opening tag, and this is a head closing tag. This is a body opening tag, and this is a body closing tag. Every opening tag has to have a closing tag, and every information you want displayed on the web page will be written in between the opening and the closing tag. So I'll edit this page as we go along. Every document has to have a title. So to write in this document, in between the title, I write what name I want to give this document to be. And since it's my final project, I'll call it Final Project. Also, every page has to be similar to each one on my web page, on my website. So I created a cascading style sheet, which is a CSS style sheet to use for this project. So I'm going to impute the link in this document so it reflects on this page when it is posted. Also note that I wrote all my links and text in a Word document, so I just have to copy and paste because of the time frame I have to create this video. The link to the style sheet is here. And the cascading style sheet is always placed under the title in the head open and closed tag, not in the body. So the next thing is the body. For the heading of this, I'm going to give you what I call my final project, which is HTML, the backbone of a web page. The next thing I want to do is to impute text. I want to introduce what HTML is and what I learned in this class into this web page. So before you write paragraphs, you have to put it in the paragraph tag, which is the P tag, which stands for paragraph. So I'll copy the text and impute it here. Since it was written on a Word document, it aligned with the screen. But since I'm imputing it into this HTML document, that way it's extended more than the screen size. But remember, the opening tag has to be the P opening tag and also has to have the P closing tag at the end of it to ensure that it works. So this is the P closing tag. The next thing I would like to add into this web page 2 items. I would like to add an image and also a video. So I'll start with the image first. And to do that, I have already saved my image and my video in my Visual Studio Code. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is the page of my Visual Studio Code, and this is the image I want to impute in this document. So I'll just copy the link and add it. Then also this is the video that I also want to use. I'm imputing the link, which is also for the image, directly under my first paragraph. The reason for this is this: after the text, I want my page to have my heading. After my heading, the paragraph. After the paragraph, I want it to have the image, the first image, and the first image is of a mountain, just like nature. So that's why I want it to have. Then after this, the next thing I want to impute is the video. But before I go on, I want to explain the tag. For an image, the href just shows that it's going to be a link. Then img represents image, src source, and the name of the folder that it's in, which is images. Then what the file is called, that's mountains jpg. Then this name that I wrote here will be reflected in it. Then for the size of my image, initially I had 500 width and 500 pixels for the width and 600 pixels for the height. I think I'd like to alter that to make it more wider. Let me see. Let me make it 1,000 pixels for the width and height 600 pixels. The next thing I'd like to impute is the video. So for the video, I'd like to give it a heading before I put it. So if you note, I also imputed the text I just wrote in between the headings tag. H1 tag is different from H2 tag. H1 tag just shows that the heading is going to be bigger than the H2 tag. So it comes down, it descends. H1 is the biggest, is the largest font. Then H2 for the heading is going to be slightly smaller than the H1. So that will be my second text for the heading. Then now I'd like to write the link for the video. Please kindly note that the link for the video is imputed in this with the width of the video and the height of the video, the source of the video, and the type of video. The video is an MP4 video. The source of the video is my video files already in my Visual Studio Code VSC that I showed you, and the name of the video is Nature MP4, and the width is 640 inch by 360 inch for the video. The next thing I'd like to write is I'd like to tell my users what to do when they see the video, because the video will just be there blank until you give it an instruction. So in this paragraph, I would like to let the users know what they are meant to do when they see the video on the screen. And I write my text in between the paragraph tags. That's the P tags. You can have as many P tags in your document to explain what you want your page to do, or what you want any item or any entity that is imputed on your page to do. I also like to state that the CSS style sheets is what makes the page look the same. Like all your web pages will have the same color, the same background color, the font you've chosen. This is what I mean. For my body, for the body, background color is beige. The margin 50 pixels. For my H1, which is my first heading, I have brown for, so it shows the color, the font family, the font size, and the margins, anything you put. So this CSS style sheet, as long as the link is imputed on each page, it reflects on all the pages. So now I have finished formatting my document. The next thing to do when I see that I am done is to commit my changes on GitHub. So I commit changes. It says update. I click commit changes. So it commits the changes. Now, after this is done, I go to my index file. I open my index file. My index file is here, and I impute the new project file in it. Let me edit. Now, what I mean is this. Every other web page has been listed here assignment 1A, assignment 2A, from the beginning to the very end. For this final project, the same thing. The only difference is that every page is labeled, so when it reflects on the front end, it just shows what the page is. So you click on it and it shows what the page is meant to do and what the page is meant to look like. So this is the link for the final project. So I label the final project underscore final underscore project dot html, then it's called final project. So whenever I'm done, I just commit my changes, but since I made no change, I just cancel. Now the next thing to do to see if what you initially did on the final project has reflected on the screen is to open your web browser and I type my GitHub ID on it. Okay, for my final project, it's the last item on this page because this is my assignment overview. So this is the last item on this page. So I click on final project. This shows what we just did. This is the topic of this is my H1, the heading, the topic. I said HTML, the backbone of a web page. It has reflected. I changed my image from 500 pixels for the width and 600 pixels for the height to 1000 pixels for the width, which made it fill the screen. The next thing I did was to add a video. So this video, and I gave it a title. This is the H2, which is the video waterfall. And I click on this and the video plays. So the video is playing. This is just simply to let you know that HTML is the backbone of every web page. Whatever is imputed in your code for your HTML in between the tags is what is reflected on your front edge, on your front end, like we see in this web page that I just created now for my final project. Thank you. Thank you for taking time to watch my video. Thank you.